Hello, my friends. So, if you've kept up with quantum mechanics and some of the current conversation in cosmology, you may have heard the statement that the universe is not locally real. This refers to a key concept in quantum physics, and it challenges our everyday understanding of reality. So, here's a breakdown. Locally real. In this context, real means objects have no definite properties independent of observation. For example, an apple is red regardless of whether anyone is looking at it, which is objectively red. And local means that objects are influenced only by their immediate surroundings, and any influence cannot travel faster than the speed of light. Why not locally real? Why is the universe not locally real? Well, quantum mechanics, the theory governing the subatomic world, reveals phenomena that violate both aspects of local realism. So, one phenomenon to mention is indeterminacy. Particles, like electrons, don't possess definite properties like spin, up or down, until measured. They exist in a state called a superposition, where both possibilities are true simultaneously. The act of measurement collapses the superposition, forcing the particle into one definite state. And then there's the phenomenon of entanglement. Two entangled particles linked through a special interaction can exhibit correlated behavior even when separated by vast distances. Measuring the property of one instantaneously, without sending a signal, determines the state of its entangled partner, seemingly defying the speed of light limitation for local influences. So these findings suggest that objects don't possess inherent properties. It's amazing that the Buddha said this 2000 years ago. No object, no person has inherent existence. Anyway, until measurement, they exist in a state of probability, not definite states. Non-local connections, we already mentioned that. So it's crucial to remember that everyday reality, therefore, could be a projection. Okay, it's crucial to remember that what we call the real is actually unreal. What we call the real, the visible appearance of the universe, is not really fundamental reality. Now, all this is supported by theoretical reasoning and evidence. So Bell's theorem, this theorem derived from the principles of quantum mechanics, predicted specific correlations in the behavior of entangled particles that could not be explained by any local hidden variable theory. Hidden variables means unknown factors, supporting the non-local nature of entanglement and further strengthening the case against original realisms. These findings push the boundaries of our understanding of reality, highlighting the fascinating and counterintuitive nature of the quantum world. While the universe at large appears locally real, the underlying quantum reality requires a different viewpoint where objects exist in probabilities until measured and non-local correlations can occur. Now, furthermore, to actually elaborate on this argument, we, the observer, the act of observing, and that what we observe are also non-locally entangled. We are made of the universe. Every atom in our body, every thought in our mind originates from the same stardust that formed the universe billions of years ago. We are not separate entities observing something external. We are basically intrinsically woven into the fabric of the cosmos. Our observations influence the universe. Every act of observing the universe can have an impact on it. For instance, in quantum mechanics, the act of measuring a subatomic particle can affect its state. This demonstrates the interconnectedness between the observer and the observed. Our understanding of ourselves evolves with the universe. As our scientific understanding of the universe deepens, our understanding of ourselves also evolves because we are part of the activity that we observe. We learn more about how our brains, and even beyond that, how our minds process information. Remember, mind and brain are, I would say, complementary activities of a consciousness that exists outside of space time. So we can learn about our bodies and how they function and how they're connected to the larger whole. The observer, the observed, and the process of observation are not distinct entities, and they cannot operate in isolation. This concept is often explored by spiritual traditions as well. But now I've given you the scientific explanation. Go a little deeper also, because beyond our perceptual activity, limits of our perceptual activity, everything is proportionately as void as intergalactic space. Your body, my hands, these glasses, that painting, the table, the computer, your body, everything that you see is proportionately as void as intergalactic space. If you could see with divine eyes, what are divine eyes? They are transcendent experiences, transcendent. By the way, this is very beautifully expressed as a teaching in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and I'll be teaching a course on this very soon, advanced meditation, how to access that domain which is beyond our perceptual apparatus, the subtle experiences of sound, touch, sight, taste, smell, etc. Then beyond that, if you could see everything, and it's possible to do that through training, then you would see that everything is proportionately as void as intergalactic space. Everything, your body, rocks, stars, everything. If you could see it as it is, you would see an empty void, a huge empty void with a few scattered dots and spots and random electrical discharges. And even the few scattered dots and spots and the random electrical discharges are ultimately made of that same emptiness. So is that emptiness space and time? No, because that emptiness is beyond space and time. Space-time and the theater of causality, which we're experiencing all around us, and our body-mind is part of that. That's the theater that is being projected as a three-dimensional movie, and your body-mind is part of it. So what's behind this? Is it space? No, it's spaceless. It's timeless. It's borderless. It's infinite. It's incomprehensible. It's inconceivable. It's invisible. It's immeasurable. It is beyond imagination, and it cannot be observed because it is simultaneously observer, observation, and observed. This is the divine that exists as a spark in you. The divine that exists as a spark in you. A little fluctuation, and in that is you, me, and all that exists. A fluctuation that cannot be predicted as to when it will occur or where it will occur. It's a fluctuation of in quantum mechanical terms, it's a fluctuation of virtual particles or of the field, quantum field, as determined by the uncertainty principle, not random, uncertain, and therefore creative. Therefore, the source of everything creatively, creative imagination, creative expression. And that spark of the divine is in you, in me, and in all sentient beings, each projecting their own experience and uh, appearance, both the experience and the appearance of the universe. And this is how the inconceivable, imperceivable manifests as everything that is perceivable and conceivable. We are the inconceivable experiencing the conceivable, the imperceivable experiencing the perceivable. But that which is the source of space time causality, energy, information, and matter is inconceivable, infinite, irreducible, fundamental, beyond cause and effect, and ultimately the mind of God. Einstein said, I want to know God's thoughts. Everything else is a detail. And Heisenberg, Max Planck, Wolfgang Pauli, Niels Bohr all hinted at the same thing. In fact, Schrödinger said the quantum wave is Atman, moving. Atman is the divine, infinite, ineffable, um, ungraspable reality beyond all comprehension. Beyond all comprehension. See, when we get to this stage, the only response is bewilderment and total astonishment. And that is the holy experience of God.